All right, here we are. So, Merry Christmas to all. This is Sabrina to my, I don't know, whichever way the box is pointing, because
Right?
it's still getting used to the positioning and all this shit. She's over there. I'm over here. That's my co-host Sabrina. We are doing this new thing. It's a new discussion forum we're gonna have here, and there's a lot of stuff that we have to do. A little background for those that don't know me particularly. Matter of fact, I won't even start me. Let the lady go first. Let her express herself because a lot of y'all know my ass already. So go ahead.
Well, Sabrina, new friend, almost 3 years in Florida, originally from Birmingham, Alabama.
She country, y'all.
Sir, didn't we say that we weren't going to call me country?
Yo, I'm telling you, that's what they say up here, man. There's nothing against you. Trust me. I might be out there one of these days. You never know, because
All right. So, are we on Facebook? Are people able
yeah,
to? Okay.
we should
All
be able
right.
to see now. Let me see. It said the live viewers show on StreamYard. This is an example. Tap on a comment to show it on the screen. Oh, I see. So if somebody actually comments, it should show up around here somewhere.
Okay.
And then we could like tap it if we want to highlight it up on our video screen, but that would require somebody actually being here and paying attention. Which right now, because we just now doing this and people's probably figuring out what the fuck are we doing. Ain't nobody popped in just yet, but the nosy neighbors will come.
They will.
And they'll
You
either
know
come
that.
now or they'll show up later, because like I said, I do plan on recording these. I'm hoping that this is recording. Like I said, pardon me, y'all. This is the first time we're using this platform and we're playing with something different. So bear with us. I am people that know me know I like to do things very professionally. I'm very anal about that. So I'm kind of learning with this as I go. But it's a social experiment anyway, so it's part of the
Exactly.
show.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Part of the
saying?
process. Yes.
So my thing is right now it is Christmas Day. On the
Mhm.
East Coast, it is 4:06 p.m. We meant to start at 3, in which we did, but Facebook wasn't letting us be great, so
Yeah,
it
it
made
was
me
just
have to
annoying.
evolve
Yes.
so that I could, this is my fault because I've been doing this podcast stuff for a minute, but being I was just on my soapbox on Facebook talking on my own, I never went through the efforts of change, of trying the streaming apps out. Because if this app works well, I'm definitely going to pay for it. You get a 7-day trial to try it out, see how it works, and then from there, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
can move on because the way it's looking like it synchronizes. I think this rocks pretty much. It has the same technology as Zoom does, which is
Hmm.
pretty effective. Now, all of that being said, so how was your Christmas so far? Nice and quiet.
Very. I
My
woke
Christmas
up this
is.
morning and
Mhm.
and the very one of the very first things I did, of course, was talk to you because we talked about this.
Right, right,
But then
right.
right after we talked, I talked to my family and my grandbaby. No one knows I have a grandbaby, so I spoke with my grandbaby and his mother.
Mm.
Saw him playing with his toys and everything. That was one of the main highlights of my Christmas. Just making sure that my grandbaby's taken care of and my family's doing great. So yeah.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now, on our end, on this end here, you know, my knucklehead son, he'll not play with his phone right sometimes. So he sits up there and hits me on some homeboy shit like, "Hey, Merry Christmas."
Uh,
And I say,
well,
"Oh, this little MNFer is thinking that he could just say, hey, man." Keep in mind, I hit him yesterday like, "Hey, do you have any last minute gifts you want? You know what I'm saying? Anything
yeah.
that maybe I didn't think of yet that you might want?" Now, because I was gonna go to the store and grab something. You know, his birthday's coming up too, but I was just gonna grab everything one time, and if he wanted something else, I could have grabbed that too. But he messed
Hmm.
that up because he ain't know how to get it together.
Oh no. Okay,
Yeah.
well, he gonna have to come correct with daddy then to get
Well,
that gift.
listen, he'll get it eventually, right?
Right, right, yes.
So, all right. So this is where we start, right?
Hmm.
And I wanted to say that the basically our topic is State of the Union, but it's not State of the Union as far as State of the Union of the country, because State of the Union of the country is it's in shambles. People are
Exactly.
wearing masks, they're not
Oh
wearing a
God.
mask. I know this
Oh.
is going to date us because hopefully years later, after we burned all the masks saying good,
Mm.
finally done with
Yes.
this bullshit.
It's
And,
exhausting right now.
you
It's
know,
been exhausting, but it's like really like, mm,
you know,
ugh.
I won't
Yeah.
say the word, the C word, but we all know the infection that's creating issues right now, that
Yes.
viral issue. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that it's extremely annoying.
Very.
And it's really displacing. It actually kind of probably plays a part into the dating landscape too.
Hmm.
Because a part of me, I'm a little stuffy, I have a little sinus issue. So if you hear me sniff every now and again, that's just me trying to get the last some remnants of it out.
So
Also,
how
I
do you
have
feel
button
like
sore.
how do you feel like this virus has affected the dating scene?
Well, as a guy, because I mean, I'm not a fuck boy. I don't do fuck boy shit.
Okay.
But I will say this: there are a lot of fuck boys out in the world, and I know how to think like them. If
Hmm.
I'm a fuck boy right now, I'm loving this because this is the perfect excuse. Oh well, I don't believe in getting vaccinated. I'm not getting that vaccinated BS. So especially if you're in New York City, so
Mm.
we can't go to the restaurant, but we could come to the crib, Netflix and chill. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying?
I gotcha. Under
And a
that's
lot of women is looking like, I'm not having that. Some women are going for the
mhm.
okie doke because they want a little pump and hump too, because they feeling a little lonely after all this locking in, locking in, locking in shit that they've been doing.
Not good, sis. Not good.
But I
Make him take
mean,
you out on a date. Or y'all take each other out on a date. However y'all want to do that. Just don't go to
no,
nobody's house.
I agree.
Unless afterwards you got a vibe of y'all feeling each other and y'all grown and y'all can do that. But at least go out.
Sorry, I'm fucking with the chat thing too. I was looking to see if I could see anything because I don't know how this thing is playing out on Facebook. This is one of the reasons why it pays to have it booted up in multiple places because
Right.
then you can see what's going on your Facebook,
Right.
which is what I'm
Exactly.
going to do on my computer now. That is booting up behind my phone. Well, actually, my phone's laying on it, so I was prepared.
Well, at least you
In the
did that part.
future, moving forward, I'd say give us about the next 4 or 6 months because we're gonna keep doing this.
Hmm.
And you know, even if we talking to ourselves for a little minute, we're gonna be working this shit out because the major key is to get the message out there. Like a lot of people may not be on the initial. Sorry, I had to make sure my pin into it. Might not be there on the initial part of this broadcast, especially being I know this looks like a totally weird thing that we're doing. Like,
Hmm.
what is this? Nobody's ever seen me on my page do this. You know. And also, on your laptop, you should definitely, like I would say in the future, definitely like set that up. But we'll take care of all that so we can get all that stuff situated. You know what I'm saying?
I
Because I'll
got
show
you.
you how to do it. So this way, because I want people on your page to be able to see what you're talking about too.
Right.
Because they might have a dog, and anybody that has any kind of single in front of their name, well, is in the status of single. If you're not married, you single.
Right.
Women don't be wanting
Exactly.
to hear that shit, but that shit is the actual factual. If
It's
you not
I
married,
agree. It's mostly women that do that. You're right. They want to have a title.
if you not married, you is single,
Single.
baby
That's
girl.
right. That's right.
And you need to get next to that fact, because the sooner you get next to that, is the sooner that you will realize that shit out here is not a game.
Hmm. Exactly. It really isn't. It's tough.
Hmm.
Dating is not how it used to be back when we were, in the 90s. Everybody was trying to fall in love so quickly. Now it's the get it and gotcha and okay and bye. You ghosted. It's the ghosting narcissistic dating thing now. So yeah, it's crazy.
It sucks out here for the dating world, man.
It does.
It's rough. Like you'll go on a date, you'll think that date was legit, like straight popping, and somehow that shit'll still end up on the cutting room floor. You know what I'm saying? Like you be trying to make that shit make sense, and it just don't make no sense, and you just like, but I don't. But what happened? I don't know. Like that's literally
Yeah.
how it plays out.
Yes, it does. You're right. I mean, I've even asked before. I mean, and I never asked that question, like what did I do? But sometimes you really kind of have to have that corrective criticism from somebody to, let what areas you might need to change about yourself. I've never really received corrective criticism, to be honest with you, because they're out there, they never would say anything, it would always be a ghost situation. So I'm
Oh
like, okay, but
Jesus.
I want to know most of the time, like, what can I change about me to help me for the next person since you don't want me apparently.
Mm. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a heavy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that sucks. Like that nobody deserves to feel that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody deserves to ever nobody should feel that way. Like you go on a date, it should never be a situation. By the way, we look amazing on Facebook, by the way. I'm just letting you know right
Okay,
now.
good. I
You
was
know,
worried about that because I
it's a
can't
slight
see it.
delay, but it's on there.
Okay. Okay,
I'm just
good.
gonna open, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, somebody threw us a like, but that was pretty much all the action that's happening here. Like I said, this is new. This is gonna be a thing. We ain't going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
God willing. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes. We're gonna agree on that. Yes, God willing.
Cause I'm gonna type something in the chat. I want to see if it pops up on the thing. Okay, good. So if somebody does comment,
Hmm.
you see how you can see it in the studio?
I can't see your comments in the studio. Hold on a minute. Let me see. Let me press chat. Oh, okay. You said, hey. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, so this way you can see it. Like I said, people, this is our first one, and we're learning with you because this is the social experiment. You're live on the floor.
Yes.
You get to share in this experience of this first time thing with us as we
So we
break
rocking it.
pop our cherries on this
Yeah, that's
motherfucker
what I
right
was
here.
about to say. We kind of rocking it raw right now.
Hold on for a minute. Okay.
Oh, He's going through some things, y'all.
All right, I'm
Going
back.
through some things.
I'm back. I just was gone for half a second. All right. Now check it out. Right. So, all right. Now to the business at hand, because we've been on this for 15 minutes and ain't gotten to a piece of what we
The
were supposed
meat.
to be talking
Yes,
about.
we
So,
need to get to the meat of the subjects here. So let's go
all right.
ahead.
So the meat of what we talking about. Ooh, excuse me. The meat of what we talking about is it's so weird seeing myself doing things that after I already do them and shit. It's like it's really distracting.
It's okay. Go ahead. Just
But
concentrate. You
anyway,
good.
the meat of what we're talking about is the state of the union of dating of today is that dating is in the toilet. People, communication wise, it's at an
Ooh,
all time low.
low.
Like, I mean, how low? Way low. It is depressing.
It is.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But it's not all a loss.
Right.
Now, I introduced Sabrina a little while ago. I never really said my background, so because like I said, I assume the people on my end know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't even do that right now. Yeah, we'll talk about that behind the scenes.
Okay.
But the thing is that we're in a situation right now where we have a gang of motherfuckers that have no clue how to date. Talking about men, talking about women, and we're talking about women. We're talking about women twice.
Wait a minute.
Now,
Go ahead.
granted. See, I keep pointing the wrong fucking way. Granted, the way it's working is the reason why I'm telling you that women that get hit twice is for one
Mm-hmm.
reason.
What?
When it comes to dating and initial interactions, women set the tone for that. Because
Okay.
when you approach y'all either decide whether y'all want to exchange digits and link up or not. When it comes to the progressive parts of the relationship, being becoming an actual partnership and
Mm-hmm.
leading to the promised land of marriage, those parts now, when you get into the deeper bonds, that's where the man is really at the accountability block because we typically make the call on that. We're the ones that say, hey, I'm really feeling you. I think we got a good connection, blah, 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 blah. And I feel like we should have a committed relationship or have a deeper relationship because there's different forms of commitment. There's monogamous, polygamous, all of that stuff. So whatever your brand of a relationship is, that's normally initiated by the man. Then you
Normally.
have
Yes.
marriage, which obviously the man 99.9% of the time proposes.
Yes.
Now, I've been proposed to a couple of times, but I'm an outlier. Most of the time, women don't propose to men, but it does happen. Ain't no shame in it, but typically it's the man that does that. That's why I say men control relationships, women control the sex and the initial reactions. What do you think about that, Sabrina?
I agree to a certain degree. I think that
They always agree to a certain degree.
sometimes,
They can never give us our props. You see how they do us? It's always a part.
stop,
Can't just say,
stop,
yeah.
sir.
Go ahead, miss.
No, really though, women go along with what men want a lot. Okay. I always say, I've learned rather, I'm not going to say I always say, I have learned that when there are things within a guy that I really don't want to deal with for a long period of time, just go ahead
Mm-hmm.
and get out of it. Sometimes we will stay because he wants us to and because it's convenient for us. We need to quit doing that. That's where a lot of
Right.
women go. men ain't shit, after a while. Sis, you got a right to say no when he's going, okay, I want a deeper commitment from you. You have a right to say, let me think about that a minute and see if I want to deal with you for however many more years you might try to fuck me up. you know, they need to start speaking up a little bit, and just letting men know, what they don't like, because a man is going to tell you what he doesn't like. So why don't you think you have the same right, sis? Speak
Mm-hmm.
up.
150% agree. I continue, sister. I'm just taking in your game right now.
I'm just saying we have to hold a lot of accountability for that shit too. We don't want to take accountability for our part in going ahead and staying with a man that we know good and well ain't no good for us.
Mm-hmm. Now I will say
Act
this:
right.
us men are guilty of that shit too. Because the chick
Okay.
is a beautiful chick, she might have a
Mhm.
banging ass body or something. We know good and damn well if that chick ain't look like that, we would not let her slide with the
Yeah.
shit that she's doing. Like, you look at a guy like me, I'm a guy of absolution. I need to know where you stand. You either in or out with me. It ain't no,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna play the hokey pokey. I'm gonna peek a foot in, then I'm gonna peek one out. Because when you stick your foot back in, you're gonna run into the door and your foot gonna come back to you.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, a lot of the games that get played today
Mhm.
are exhausting. Like,
Very.
so many times you'll see a woman and you're interested in her and you're like, oh my God, I think she might have potential. Da da da. Then they go and do some dumb shit or drag it or some other bullshit happens. And you just like this. See, this is why I just be on my bald headed hoe shit. And those that know me know I be saying that shit myself. But I mean, I could tell you so many times I have been in a situation where, because I've mostly been poly most of my life, but I'm not against monogamy. Because I do
Right.
feel like I might look young, but I'm 41 years old. You understand what I'm saying? And
Right.
I do have a higher than average drive, but my whole thing is I can push that energy into a single person with maybe a couple of extra crazy things we could do here and there, but that's an extra. It's not a part of my everyday life.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I got you.
And I would love to be able to share that with somebody, but they have to show me that they're about that life and that
Mhm.
they are about seeing what's up between me and them. Because me and them got to be on point first before I try to add any extra situations into the situation. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So,
Mhm.
and I will tell you this, when it comes to dating, I'm one of them people, I open the car doors, I'm taking off the jacket, holding it up. I stand up to let you pass, do all that stuff. Make sure you always walk in on the protected side of me, whichever side that may be. I mean,
Mhm.
things you're supposed to do. I
Yes.
pay. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, these are basic things, but these are things that a lot of women don't get. Like, I've
Mhm.
had women straight up look at me like, what are you doing? Helping you with your jacket. You don't have to do any of that stuff if you're around me. That's the kind of treatment you get in my universe.
Right. Now, do you think that's a generational thing? That some men don't understand that concept, or either do you think that's just the way that they're raised, period?
Yeah, see, Cecilia's confirming what I said because I'm looking at the chat over here because it's not popping up
Right. I
on the
don't see
thing,
anything.
y'all. No, 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 it's not popping up on the thing. But I can see it on the live chat on the computer. And she's saying, see, men don't do that anymore. And I'm like,
See.
that's what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
It's a matter of people feeling protected. You're around me, you're as safe as you could be around anybody else. Period.
And to Cecilia, if they're not doing it, trust me, when you bring it to their attention that they're not doing it and do it right then and there, you're like, hey, you're supposed to be doing this and that and blah blah blah. Gotta let him
I'm a,
know
I'm
right
a,
then and there. He'll fix it.
but
You
I
gotta
will say
fix it.
this. I will say this. You got to be careful how you say that though. Don't say
Yeah.
supposed to.
Don't say it
Supposed
like
to is
that.
it's a little strong. Just be
Like
like,
I'm used to this.
no, what you do is,
Oh.
Cecilia, let me tell you something. If the dude let me teach you how you do this, Cecilia. I'm gonna show you some game real quick. All right. So the way you do this is you when the door comes, you walk in towards the door, kind of slip to the right or the left, wherever the handle is, give him a chance to grab that door. Subtle things. When the jacket is picked up, hand it to him. And then you put your arm and it should click. If it's not clicking after you do this, or if they think you want some BS, then you dating the wrong kind of dude, Cecilia.
Right.
Because that's what she's saying. She's saying they be thinking you want some BS. And I hear you. But if they feel like that, that's not you. That's them.
Hmm.
That means
Yep.
you dating the wrong dudes and you gotta choose differently.
Yes.
Whatever parameters you're using, them parameters ain't working. That's why you still sitting there going through what you're going through and you ain't getting that treatment you're supposed to get. Because we out here and we want to give that. A lot of us
Yes.
do.
And
Look at me. It's Christmas. Do you see me snuggling up under anything? No. I'm sitting there talking. Now, granted,
both of us
I
are.
took care of my holiday shit. I did take care of my responsibilities already for the day. But my whole thing is, well, listen, Cecilia, you do know this. I'm gonna just give you some numbers, right? When it comes to the women to man ratio, depending on where you live, it's anywhere from 1 to 6 to 1 to 25. So finding a man in general is difficult. Then finding a man that actually knows how to be a man,
Hmm.
just divide that by about 65, and that's the odds that you have against you, which would be about 0.00065%, some shit like that. No, actually 0.0035%, excuse me. That's what you have to work with. One out of every 0.00035%. That's
Yes.
how slanted your number is. And actually, you have to invert that because I'm a math nerd and I just realized I did quick math and did it backwards. It's more like you have 0.00035% to choose from out of every 20 men. Sucks to
Mm.
say, I know. Hard to find, yeah. But guess what? Dating ain't supposed to be hard and relationships are supposed to be easy. If you're
Yes.
having a hard time dating, it's something that you are doing because you are the common denominator.
Can I help with that?
You can
The
surely help
reason?
out anytime you want, Sabrina.
Okay,
I
listen.
need to take a sip
I
anyway.
think a, I think a lot of the reasons why people don't know how to date, well, I'm not going to even say don't know how to date. People don't get an understanding of people first. They don't go through the talking phase. Y'all just want to talk for a second or and then next thing you know, you're exchanging numbers and you're out on that very first date without even knowing whether this person is worth your time on the first date, period. Talk a little more. Make that person talk a little more. And if they're not putting a lot of effort into learning you before you even step foot out to date them, toss it. Leave it. You have a responsibility in that too. Everybody has a responsibility to be putting in effort to make calls. All that texting does not help either. And I even like to video chat. Video chat, I mean, virtual chatting nowadays is awesome, because you know what you're getting yourself into because you don't want to be catfished. No one wants to be catfished. So, video chat for a while. I mean, and you'll find out a lot about a person in just a few video chats or over the phone conversations. Talk a while. Talk a lot more. You ain't got to go out, be so quick to go out on a date first. Dates should be fun. Y'all already kind of know each other and got a feel of each other. And then you'll learn a little bit more as you go on. But
Shit,
know
I'm
who
writing
you're
some of
going
this
out
down
on that date
myself.
with. Yeah.
I'm writing
Know
some
who
of
you're
this
going
down
out.
myself.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
because
that's
you gotta
all I had to say
understand.
about that.
No, but you gotta understand something, right? Is that I will say this: we live in two different demographics. Our lifestyles are a bit different. Both of us have things that we run outside of our regular working schedules. That's one common ground we do have. You have a few degrees actually. You know what I'm saying? You big you up for a minute, sister. You did your thing. You went to school. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple of degrees under you and shit. Motherfuckers think you just sit here with a big smile. No, she got some knowledge. She been a couple of places. She know. I ain't just put somebody on here that don't know what the fuck they talking about. I'm a legit counselor. Like I can't just be up here spitting bullshit and
Right.
just throw any old person from the street up here. No, I vetted people through this for a while before this whole thing came to be. And we came up with this together and said, hey, let's do this thing here. And like I said, I will say now I'm going to double back onto the topic again. The one thing I will disagree with, excuse me, oh, that's so terrible on camera. The one thing I will disagree with is fucking ginger ale. That's why people don't drink ginger ale on camera. I never thought about that until just now. But the reason why people are going through a lot of bullshit they go through is not even just the dragging to take time. The thing is, even if you do go on a date right away, because some people are, go get it, let's go, let's get this shit rolling. I want to see you.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that
Right. Yes.
at
Yes.
all.
I agree with
But
that.
the thing
Definitely.
is, in that, is when you find yourself motivated to want to go see somebody, after you see them, that's when it's time to turn that shit up to the next level. Like, okay, we went out. Either it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down.
Hmm.
The one or two ways your communication will go. If you're gonna do that, though, I will say, it's like in New York, a lot of us are hella busy because you just can't live off of going to work and coming home out here.
Right.
It's a bit of a reach. And if you are going to work and coming home, you spend a few hours out. You know,
And I'm in Florida, by the way, people. So unless people don't know.
well, nobody would know unless you told them, and now they know. So check this out, right? So here's where we go into the problem. Now, I'm gonna get to your comment in a minute, Cecilia. I see you. Here's the problem you run into. You got people that go out on a date, and that was the only free time that they're gonna have for like the next 3 to 4 weeks. The key thing is if you're a busy person, you have to learn how to manage your time if you're gonna seriously
Hmm.
date anybody.
Yes.
Otherwise, probably better off just having sex. And I'm not even being funny and trying to be nasty or anything like that, because I mean, that's like I said, getting sex is not hard for a man to do. It surely ain't
No,
hard for me.
it ain't hard
But
for nobody. Not even me. I
it's
trust
about
me. Yes.
the connections.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And Steph, I see Steffi there. She's very smart too. She'll attest to that. It's about connections.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's about the connections that you derive aside from the sex. Because once the sex is over, you don't want to look at the person and be like, why are you still here? Because I know I've done that before. I'm sure you've done that before.
Yes.
And everybody's been guilty of that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But the biggest problem is we don't, like you said, we don't take the time to get to
Hmm.
know each other. And
Yes.
even if you're busy, like anybody that knows me knows I'm always in motion. Texting me is probably the worst way to communicate with me because I'm always moving. So guess what? You gotta do. Listen, I'm old school. Gotta pick up the phone. Gotta hold up to your ear. You gotta pull out your little
Calling.
earbud. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do something. You gotta love it.
Yes.
Otherwise, a person like me that's busy like I am, you'll never develop a real connection with. And the thing is, a lot of the ambitious men that women like, a lot of those men that have things going on for themselves that are handling responsibilities and stuff, they're very busy. But we don't have a problem making some time.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, number one, I will say this: two people with rigid schedules normally don't work, even if you're both busy. Because if neither one of your schedules has flexibility, it's going to be hard pressed to try and get it together. Doesn't mean it's hopeless. Just understand it's going to be very hard.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Another thing is you can't not at least try. Like Sabrina said, that video chat thing, even if it's once a week, you just turn on the FaceTime and say, listen, I ain't got to see your face. Can I? And ask before you turn on FaceTime. Don't just call them FaceTime randomly.
Yes.
They can be in the middle of
Yes.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But hit them up. Like, hit them up, send a message. When they hit you back, don't take 45 years to respond.
Mm-hmm.
And then be like, boom. Hey, we looking at each other face to face. But the thing is, and I want to get to Cecilia's comment.
What she say?
Um to segue, she's like, there's a lot of domestic violence these days as well. That's true, but
Mm.
honestly, that's not um a primary thing that happens early in the dating process. It's
Right.
normally something that
Right.
people do once they've gaslit you for a minute. And
Exactly.
I will say on this, it's called learn the person you're dealing with. People will show you who they are. And when you see
Yeah.
it, don't be afraid to believe them on what they're showing you.
Ooh, say it. I've
And
learned
like
to
Steph
just
said,
believe
it's a lot
everything
of
that they show me.
compromising and it's a lot of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Steffi said.
Yes.
And Steffi's 100% right. Because while you're compromising and sacrificing, you'll also be paying attention and learning to what it is that their patterns are and what it is that they're doing so that you can really figure out what kind of person they are. Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, let's say you get really, really busy, right? Like, just the season right now, it's the holidays. Some people just met each other not too long ago. Some people been dating for a little minute. Communication could kind of slack for other reasons. Sabrina, shut up. This communication could kind of slack for reason. She knows why I said that. When the person hits you up, that determines what kind of person you are and what kind of person they are. Because
Yes.
a person that's a little crazy, when they finally get that hit up, they gonna be like, "Oh man, yo, what the fuck, man? You ain't been hitting me." Or Shorty will be like, "Yo, what's up, man? You ain't been hitting me up, and you been bugging me, and da 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 da." All in their feels and shit. You understand? Now, in a
Yes.
situation like that, all you have is your patience.
Yes. That's all you have, honestly.
All you have is
Really.
your patience in a situation like that. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to hear a bunch of rigmarole. Imagine they've really been busy with some real shit and you're now bitching at them because they haven't hit you up. But I will say this: if you are the person on the other end of that, where you're the person who's not doing the hitting up, you got to be moving apologetically,
Yes.
and you have to be like, listen, I get it, da 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 da, such and such and such is happening, cool, but we gonna link. And listen, and I say this to the ladies because I know us fellas is guilty of our shit, but I will tell you, nobody holds the Casper Award better than women because women are afraid to approach. But I'm not gonna. Don't take my word for it because I got this lovely little lady over here that could verify that she even said she has ghosted before. And a
I
lot of
have.
times, if they're not interested in somebody, they'll just ghost off. That's not cool to do either. Like if somebody's interested in you, what you should be doing is if you're not interested, just say, hey, I'm not interested. The average guy is gonna look and he'll be like, damn, that sucks. But we gonna move on.
Sometimes, okay, that's the
The
reason
num-
why I say I've ghosted. Oh, sorry about
hold
that.
on, hold on,
I don't mean to shut you off. Go ahead.
hold on. Let me just say one thing, and then I'm totally shutting up. I've been talking long enough.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is people have a tendency to just they're always afraid of any kind of confrontation. So they duck and hide. You don't have to feel guilty for liking or not liking something. If it's not for you, it's not for you. You tell a guy, listen, this is what time it is. Even if you say, oh, I'm afraid to tell him to his face because he might wild out and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so tell him on the phone. And don't make it a tacky ass text message either, because that's just so tasteless. Pick up the phone and say, listen, I'm cool. Like me and you was good, but I mean, I feel like we better off more as friends than really trying to be anything romantic because I'm not feeling that vibe. The most he can do, he might be upset or feel away, but that's his problem. But now you safely at your residence minding your business. And it is what it is. Sabrina.
So, okay. Thank you for clearing that up because I was just about to say sometimes you really don't know someone's state of mind whenever you say that. And they could really be feeling, some people just don't know how to accept rejection. However, like he did say, it's not good to ghost. No one likes to be ghosted. I've actually been ghosted quite a few times. Okay. I won't lie about that. However, I mean, if we just talk one time and I'm like, okay, after I get off the phone, I'm like, oh my God, they took a lot out of me. That one phone call. Let me just go ahead and just delete him. I would just not ever talk to that person again. That's how this gonna go. But I mean, if I have been feeling well, I'm not gonna say feeling, but if I have been out on a date or talked to them quite a few times, and then I see, okay, like, nah, okay, this not gonna work either. I have ghosted then. I have done that, because my feelings aren't involved yet. So I'll ghost because I'm like, whatever, on to the next. But that's not good because I don't want anyone, you really don't want anyone out there going, wow, what did I say? What did I do? So, I mean, yes, he's right. Go ahead when you're in a safe space in your own comfort of your own home, hit them up, let them know, that, look, hey, let's just cut it. Yeah.
It's like that. And that's exactly how it is. Oh, damn. It's like that. And that's the way
That's just
it
so
is. No, but that's the
yes.
thing. And like we said before, that is the number one thing in dating is knowing how to reject. A lot of people drag things out because they don't know how to reject. It
Right.
is okay to say no.
Yes.
It is your God
Very
given
much.
right to say no. Ladies, it is okay to say no. Fellas, it is okay to say no because you don't understand. You dragging her around, now you gaslighting her. And then you
Yes.
gonna mess around, have a little late night, gonna be shipping a little shun, like I got this little shun right here, my little white henny. You know what I'm saying? Damn, these bottles look really small in my big ass hands, huh?
It almost looked like a Corona.
And that's a whole bottle of white henny. But
uh,
you know, you gaslight them on, and then you have one of them little nights, and next thing you know, you pipe her down, and now she hooked. And you wasn't even interested. You only hit because you had an itch to scratch,
you
and she's
right.
willing to scratch it. That ain't right. That ain't right, fellas. And I'm speaking from experience because I know I've done it. I'm
We
not sitting up
we
here
do it.
acting like I'm
We do
holier
it
than
too.
thou.
We do. Women do it too. We do it.
Oh, I
So
know, but men
it's
are
not
more
like,
guilty of this than women, though.
yes,
Because
yes,
men
that's
can
true.
fuck without emotion a lot more than women can.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So that's just the thing with us. We can fuck the shit out of somebody, and our emotions won't play one part in it one way or the other. We just was there to slang the dang-a-lang. You know what I mean? Oh, stop being a child. We're talking about playing a dang lane. She's sitting up there like, chuckling away like a little schoolgirl.
Who,
You
me?
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Look, hey, you know I'm gonna laugh because the shit be funny. I'm gonna laugh
It
at
is
what is
funny though.
funny. Yeah.
It is funny, but like I said, that's one of the like I said, that's one of the number one things that people have to understand is that if you're going to be in this dating world, you have to understand, you have to set your level of acceptance.
Yes.
And you have to stick to it. I don't care how much that dick print is popping in them sweats. I don't care how big them titties are, that ass is. None of that shit matters.
Right.
Because it'll be fun for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, I feel like you're gonna look and be like, and like I said, once you get that thing off, excuse me, there's a part to this Lil Wayne song when he says, "After I nut, I come to my senses." Because the thing is with
Mm-hmm.
us men, there's a certain amount of hormones that kick into our system where it could almost put us in kind of like a drunken, horny like state because we produce 120 million sperm every day. Women produce one egg a month. Do you understand what that means? That means you always have the urge to splooge, splooge, splooge. Keep in mind, only one lucky sperm is going to be the winner. And he's the one that gets into the egg, fertilizes that motherfucker, and creates the life that is sitting before you right now.
You just taught me a little bit of something right there. That's straight. I got you. I
I,
don't know. Maybe I have more testosterone in me than I
I
thought.
study, I study, I study a lot of but I mean, women still have estrogen and other things
Yes.
going on with them and all of that. But I'm just talking about just for simple reproductive purposes. My
Mm-hmm.
point is that with men being at the level of drive that we typically have, which is a whole other topic we'll get into at another time. Um, the reason why you have to, it all comes down to transparency and honesty. Honestly,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I could
Yes.
say what you
Yes.
could do, what you should do, what you have to do, but really, you have to set the tone of transparency and honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Women, stop fucking lying. If you're not
Yes.
into the guy, don't go out with him just for his meals and drinks. Go buy your own meals and drinks.
Yes.
And understand one thing: the greatest currency we have on this planet, in this universe, is time, not
Mm-hmm.
money.
Yep.
Money is but a tool. You trade time for
Mm-hmm.
money every time you go to work. When you're doing
Right.
that job, it's not the job that you're getting paid for, it's the time
It's
that
your
you're putting
time.
into it
Mm-hmm.
that you're getting paid for. And in exchange for that time, you get X amount of dollars. Depending on your job, is how you get paid. So if you don't want nobody playing with your paycheck, why are you playing with somebody's life?
Exactly. Yes. I agree. I totally agree with that one. I definitely agree. Yes.
And that's
Stop
where we
wasting people's
go.
time. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's where we go south.
Yeah.
You want to do better? You want better from the men, ladies? The ladies always talk about men ain't shit. Another thing too, if you're running around talking about men ain't shit, more than likely it's your choices ain't shit. It ain't the men that ain't shit because how many times have you banged your head into that same brick wall trying to get through it? The
Mm-hmm.
definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you want better, you have to do better. You have to be the
That's right.
change that you want in front of you.
Yep.
What do you think,
I
Sabrina?
think I totally agree. I totally agree. I think that what we do is ignore things that we don't, or we make excuses even for things that we don't normally want to go along with. We'll go along with it because oh he's nice, oh he got this, oh he does that. You know, we that's how us women think. I've been guilty of that. Stop it. You got to grow up at some point, sis. Grow up. Think differently about yourself. You don't have
Hmm.
to accept shit all the time. No, you don't. You see some shit, and it's not always just like, okay, ghost every time. You got to know what you're really willing to deal with. All the pros and the cons and all that stuff. That really does need to be done within you. Weigh them pros and those cons. If you got more, whatever negative things that's on the list, cut it loose. Stop staying. What you staying for? And I know somebody mentioned something about domestic violence. That's probably how you're going to eliminate all the domestic violence in your life, by paying attention to certain things that you already don't like. So he won't be able to raise a hand to you, sis. The way he get mad, oh no, can't deal with that. He doesn't know how to control his anger. Get out of it. You have a responsibility to pay attention to what he's showing you. Pay attention. Men too. Y'all know when y'all dealing with a gold digger. Stop. Stop.
You mean when her eyes are money green?
Y'all know she after y'all money, or y'all know that's all she wants. So I mean, stop. That's how that's all she good for, giving you probably mediocre sex. But you, at least she look good. You settling? What you settling for?
You know how many times I've crossed that bridge? I'll say this is a personal disclosure moment because I'm listening to her just tell the gospel over here, and I just figured I would be honest and I would step to the front and do a testimony real quick. Since this is the day of, well, this ain't really the day of Christ's birth, but we don't go into
Okay,
the
no,
weeds
it
of that.
ain't.
We
Well,
ain't gonna start that. We just gonna be like, okay, this is
mm-hmm.
the day that they recognize it.
Yes.
Hey, there's Danny. Hey, Danny. She always has something nice to say. I know you can't see the comments. I'm gonna work on this with this app, but for now, because it would be nice not to have to rely on the computer. Because what if I'm outside and I'm doing this? But for now, I'll have to be indoors somewhere where I can do the laptop setup and everything. But we make it twerk the way we make it twerk. You know what I'm saying?
Sir, let's do this.
But
Get to your subject.
you know, I am guilty of dragging it. I'm guilty of dating someone and I knew the sex was mediocre. I mean, I'm the kind of person that's always ready to go. And with them, I kind of had to convince myself to be ready to go. So I knew that it wasn't it, but for some reason I dragged it. For some unforeseen reason, I thought she was a nice girl and da da da. You try, when they say, "Oh, you got to look beyond the sex and da da da." No, you have to be honest to yourself because, and it's something I've always said in my more mature years. And it's like, listen, I could lie to myself, I could lie to you, but I can't lie to my dick. And a lot of times he knows something that even I don't know. And he'll be like, I'm not really that thrilled to go in there. And I'll be like, but why? Look at her. She's, but it's not that much fun in there. And then when you think about it, you think about your synchronicity and your vibes and everything. A lot of times there are things that are missing. And the moral of the story is with this is be true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yes.
settle for less than what you want, but be realistic on the things that you desire as well. We don't want
Exactly.
to hear that you looking for the rock. And you looking for Rocky Johnson. He ain't dating you. Okay? He not. You ain't getting Boris Cujo. You ain't
I'm getting
getting
bars.
listen. Or who I don't really pay attention to a lot of these guys' names, but I mean, those are guys that I know women tend to find attractive, whatever. Sabrina probably could call those names better than me, so I'll leave that to her.
Uh-huh.
But my point is, also know where you stand yourself. And this is where the rating goes in. Because I was going to touch on this before we got off of this today. You have to be honest about where you stand in the sexual marketplace, men and women.
Uh-huh.
Men, how many children do you have by how many baby mamas? What kind of job do you do? What is your 5-year plan? And your socioeconomic status. Meaning, who's in your circle, what do they do, and how do they move? Those are your 4 major keys. Notice I didn't say too much about looks. Looks is a number 5, but honestly, you'll see a guy that looks pretty physically basic, but his woman is fucking fly as shit. Now we're gonna go over to them, and Sabrina, if I'm saying something wrong, stop me.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Go straight.
When you get to the women now, sexual marketplace value number 1. Are you fit, feminine, submissive? And all this fits under that one thing, because all this needs to be together. Fit, feminine, submissive, agreeable. Number 2, what is your socioeconomic status? Even though we don't care so much about the economic part, but we do care about the kind of friends that you have around you, because we don't want to be embarrassed.
Right.
We don't want Zaquisha and her friends embarrassing us because we invite you and them out to come to an event, and we think, it's a nice formal thing, and they come there looking like girls in the hood. Nah, we ain't got time for that. Number 3, how many children you have.
Uh-huh.
Number 4, how what is that? I want to get it right. Number 4 is, how well do you do in circles outside of your comfort zone? Because a lot of times us men are bringing you into our world.
Uh-huh.
You're coming to join us. We're trying to bring you in. We want you to be comfortable. Hey, meet my friend such and such and such. How well can you socialize with them? What kind of socialite are you? And the number 5, which is a softer one, also your style. These things make up what your rating falls upon. I already mentioned your appearance is number 1, the part of feminine and all that. So look at your physical appearance, socioeconomic status, meaning what kind of work do you do, not for your finance, because we don't care about what you do. You and how much you earn does not put any bearing on if I want to date you or not. Mm-hmm. And nobody, no matter what their economic status is, because I roll with people, ain't none of us average earners. The average earning numbers, by the way, are $35,000 to $45,000 a year, USD currency, and none of us earn that at all. Some of us are higher up than others, but none of us are on that average earning block. And a lot of men that aren't, and even those that are, we're looking at a woman for those 5 qualities that I just said to you. Those qualities are essential, because if you don't have those, you can pull out and say, oh, I'm pretty and da-da-da, and look, I'm making X amount of dollars a year. Yeah, but if you're not submissive, you're not cooperative, if you can't be a man's peace of mind in a world that's already full of enough conflict, if you can't be that man's peace, he does happen to somehow you get him to be with you anyway, trust and believe he has a next chick who he lays up under who is his peace. Because a man's going to find his peace, whether he finds it with you or someone else. These are things that you have to come to terms with when you are in this dating world. It is not a choice of yours to be submissive and cooperative. And being submissive doesn't mean, because we're going to have a whole other show talking about submission and all of that stuff. But just to touch on it a little bit, because we running a little long here.
Yep.
We've been on here for like an hour. But just to get you in the right frame of mind, it takes a woman of great strength to know how and when to submit to the proper individual. There's no weakness in submission. Even a man, to a certain degree, submits to his woman. Every time when I kneel down and I say, I want you to be my wife and I want you to take my name, I am submitting my life to you because I am promising to protect you with my life, as I would expect you to do for me. If you saw something coming, pull me out the fucking way just like I would for you. Yeah. That's the kind of marriage I'm accepting. If I don't feel like a woman's on that level, I will die single. I'll have girlfriends, dates. And the thing is, a lot of us men feel like this. I am just a reflection. I am the guy that sits in many different circles. I counsel men. I don't just counsel women. I counsel men too. I hear what they say. A lot of men want, and I want Sabrina to tell me all about what women want and stuff in a second from her perspective, because I'm closing out on what I'm saying right now. But because I know I'm hogging the ball right now, but I really feel passionate about this. A lot of men want to be what you want us to be for you, but you have to be ready to receive us and be what we need so that we can give you what you need. Because men are reactionary. We are creatures that are tempered in battle. We go and react according to the situation because we were meant to be hunter-gatherers by nature. So we adapt to any environment we in. So if we're in a hostile environment, oh wow. Yeah, Cecilia said her man just left me because of this conversation. Ugh.
Well, he wasn't ready. He ain't the one. Okay,
He
let it
did you
go.
a favor.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sabrina. Tell him real quick. I want to finish what I'm saying, but
yeah, let him go, sis. I mean, he did you a favor, like he just said. Y'all got into an argument about it. He wasn't ready. Don't make him ready. You can't make nobody be ready for what they're not ready for. Let him go. He showed you what he showed you. Did we say that earlier? When somebody show you who they are, what, believe him? He showed you right there. He not ready. All right, you can finish.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, lovely. I just wanted to make sure that the lady gets to speak her piece because, like I said, yes, I'm a strong personality. Yes, I am a dom, but I have a lot of respect for this woman I'm talking on here with, which is the reason why she's sitting here next to me talking with me about this thing. She's a little shy when I give her props and stuff, so she starts to cheese and get all goofy and shit. But you know what I'm saying? My thing is, I'm not perfect. I've cheated. I've played games. I've gaslit. I've done it all. I grew up beyond past and evolved beyond all of that because I know, especially once I became a counselor and I really saw the other side of what it does to a woman, it actually made me cry. The first person I ever counseled, I was crying right with them because I thought of everything. It actually tears me up a little bit right now. I was thinking about it, but it makes me it made me realize the kind of destruction I created in my younger days. And it's something I had to learn to come by. I'm tempered by battle. Like I said, us men, we're tempered by battle. We can be anything that you want us to be, but you have to be the type of person that is willing to receive that person and take them all the way in. Because just like you want them to accept you for the flaws you have,
right?
You have to accept them for the flaws they have as well.
Yes. That's being vulnerable. Yes.
I could go on about this for another whatever, but Sabrina, let's You
I'm
know what I'm
gonna give you the
saying?
what the women want perspective. What most women want anyway. Of course, we want somebody that's going to be a gentleman, know how to talk and communicate with us without getting angry. Because sometimes we don't understand how y'all move. We don't, especially if we've been hurt before. You know, we might ask you a question. Don't get mad. Don't do that. Learn how to be temperate and learn how to just be patient with us because we're not perfect either. Okay. We do want somebody who is going to have good character, good integrity. I like a hard worker. That turns me the fuck on. If I see that you work hard, I'm going to give you all the submission that you asked for. You know, it's not going to be hard for me to submit to a man that I see who has all those characteristics. Of course, you know, if if you got so many baby mamas, I'm gonna be like, although everybody has a past, but I'm gonna be like, especially if it's a new baby. I'm like, oh God. That does
Can I,
make your value go down a little bit.
can I interject one thing?
Go
Just one
ahead.
thing, half a second.
Yes.
Ladies, I would say, and there are outlier situations where dealing with a man with a new baby is okay. But I'm gonna be honest with you. As far as dating serious, like if you just want to have a fling with him, that's fine. You can have some fun with him. But if you're hoping for a serious relationship with a man who has a new baby, I'm just gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, you need to give that man some time.
Hmm.
And maybe if you like him and you really feel like you'll be patient, just wait. You gotta wait. You gotta be patient. You gotta wait through the process because that first year or two, a lot of times people break up, get back together. They trying to figure it out, and then you're gonna drag yourself through the ground and drive yourself crazy. So I
Hmm.
would say try to avoid those. But if you do find somebody you really like them, that doesn't make them a bad guy. They just might have had a situation. Just try to. I'm speaking from experience because I was that guy. Except I fully was broke up with mine and I never went back. But the difference is I'm an outlier. Most of the time, guys go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm just saying, just think on it before you invest yourself too deep.
Hmm. He's right. I've been in that situation before too. So I mean, I'm just gonna agree with that right there. But going back to what I was saying, the things that women want. So definitely, you know, of course, a provider and a protector, you know, but we do want to be able to submit to you guys. It won't be so hard, you know, once we see that you have all of those things checked off. Now, sisters, let me know if y'all feel a little bit different, you know, because I can be, you know, I could be submissive, you know, to somebody that's doing all that. But once he shows me something different, something else that's not within, you know, what I require from a man, I can't. I'm look at you like you the biggest clown I ever seen in my life, and I cannot submit to a man like that. It's so hard to come back from, you know, respecting somebody, and then now you gotta like try to respect them again after they've done something so stupid. So yeah, I just don't want to. Not that men don't mess up, but you can't mess up so big to the point of no return and you expect for me to, you know, get right back in it with you. Nah, brother, come on now, keep it real. So yeah, that's how I
Uh,
feel about that.
that's fair. Well, it is Christmas. I want to jingle bells and smoke a cigar, fit me some of this little hen dog here, what's left of it, because I was already sipping it another day. I actually hold on to my liquor for a while because I don't like drinking by myself. And no, most of the liquor I keep in the house is just there until I end up going somewhere. And I say, oh, fuck it, I need a bottle anyway, and I'll drag it with me. But that's pretty much what I do with that. But anyway, I appreciate those that are watching this, and I know some people will probably catch this afterwards because it is Christmas. For those that came on, you contribute your things. We appreciate that. Let me just double check the comments real quick before you get out of here. Say Okay, Danny said, that's right. It's a lot of women that just need to take that self journey, heal, and the man you're supposed to have will be gifted to you. Trust me, I know, and facing yourself and being held accountable, even as a DV, which is domestic violence survivor, I had a part to own. And there's a little bit more to this. Oh, to own for myself. Zero excuses. I excuse nothing right now, and not settling has given me what I need and more. And that's fair.
Yes.
I will say one thing to that, though. I think we need to stop waiting for the gift to come from on high, because
Mm-hmm.
everything we need was given to us right here, and right here. Everything we need was given to us. God's
I
not
agree.
coming down from heaven and dropping a man in your doorstep. That's going
Mm-hmm.
to be the second coming or the one.
Yes.
This ain't the Matrix. You ain't getting the one.
Sometimes y'all gotta shoot y'all shot, sisters. I'm not. I was just. I forgot to tell y'all that I'm one of those that'll shoot my shot, guys. I will. I will not be afraid to approach what I want. Go out and get him. You never know. I mean, you might think that he might look like somebody that won't accept you or whatever. Okay, well, if he just don't. That's his preference. He has that right. But sometimes I've heard from plenty of men that
Hmm?
it's a major turn on when a woman approaches them. Y'all got to stop being
100%.
scared.
Because let me tell you something. Us men get tired of having to hear no all the time. So it's nice to
Hmm.
know the yes is already there for us to take.
Hmm.
Like all we got to do is be interested in them mutually, and we in the building. That men love simplicity, ladies.
Yes.
When you try to make things difficult to make yourself seem like you're of higher value, no, you
Hmm.
just look like somebody that's going to be more complication. You know what complication does to our penises? It makes them go soft. We don't want complication. We want
Yes.
simplicity. Men do not want to feel like, oh, I jumped through 1,000 hurdles. Them goofball ass insecure dudes that run around saying, well, yeah, it was so easy to get. I didn't think it was worth anything. Those are called children in grown man's
Yes.
body.
Yes.
Because a grown ass man appreciates you not wasting his time.
Hmm.
Because we know
I
we
agree.
got other shit to do with our time. So please, I implore you, ladies, anybody that hears my voice, hears Sabrina's voice, hear our voices. She's saying it with me. It's not me saying it and her just yes, yes, yes. Because me and her disagree on stuff all the time behind the
All the
scenes.
time. Trust me, y'all.
But
I'm not
my
sitting here
whole
just being a yes
thing
man.
is, and those topics will come. Those topics will come. But it's just there's no reason to disagree with a lot of this because this is all common sense. This is
Hmm.
basic. This is basic dating 101. This is love and relationship 101. I don't care who you is, how fly you think you is, or whatever. At the end of the day, if you going to bed and waking up alone every day, that shit gonna get old after a while.
Hmm.
And understand, every day that you age is a day that you wasted.
Yep.
Don't wait till tomorrow. Make it happen today. And that is my final word. Sabrina, you got anything before we shut this down?
I just wish everybody a happy holiday. Enjoy yourself. Go out there and get him, sis. Go out there and get him, bruh. Get her, bruh. Whatever. If you have any bros on here, any brothers or whatever. But yeah,
They peep
everybody,
on me.
just
They don't
stay.
like to come on the live too much. They the type they come
But
on
yeah.
and be in the inbox on the low like, yo, fam. Like
Oh
I said, I
gosh.
have male clients and female clients. It ain't just one. But
But
nonetheless,
yes, everybody continue to have a really good day. Definitely enjoy yourself. Thank y'all
yes,
for tuning in today.
yes, and we will be doing this. Likely, it'll be a once a week forum discussion. Depending on demand, maybe it'll increase. But I mean, people got shit to do, so we ain't gonna
Yes.
just be on here every day rattling on, you know. But like I said, for those that sat through, thank you. This was our first time. This was an experiment. on the show called The Social Experiment. So, yay, you made it to the end. Good job. Good job.
Yay!
You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate y'all. And there'll be more to come. And everybody, like Sabrina said, have a great holiday. Be safe out there. God willing, I catch y'all next week. And that is all. All
Stay
right?
safe, guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.